Hi, Carson. Tell us a little bit about your research firm, Northington Dahlberg Research.
Okay. Well, we're a volatility-based, quant-driven firm, so everything we do is volatility. So all the things that you would want to get with traditional technical analysis, momentum, trend identification, support and resistance, we do that all through volatility.
Okay. And you also, along with your partner, have developed very rigorous statistical methods that you have applied. Some say in a very professional way. Tell us a little bit about that work too.
Okay. Well, with backtesting was kind of an adventure. We thought we had a couple years ago. We thought we had a really good process in place, and we went in and took it to some quants, and they actually took us to task.
Oh yeah.
And so, have you thought about survivorship bias? Have you done this and this? And so, actually, through that process, we were able to come out with, very similar to what a heavy quant would do. But there's some major differences. Like, we do not believe in randomness. We believe in non-random, that behavioral finance, people have anchoring biases, they have recency bias and things like that, herding. And so tweaking the process a little bit to account for that.
Okay. Tell us your involvement with the Market Technicians Association. For example, you are a CMT charter holder. You're also on the board of directors.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the first year that I came out was in Miami, and that may have been 7 years ago, and I just remember Ralph coming over and, boy, we could use some volunteers. We got all kinds of stuff. What do you want to do? And I think Tom Silveri was there also. So I started off as just a chapter chair in Charlotte.
That's
it's
right.
a major banking hub, but there just wasn't a chapter. So that was a fun process. There was actually a large community using technical analysis. And so from there, just taking on more responsibility and really enjoying seeing that group grow. Going to a board level is being able to execute some vision on the international level. So, and it's been fun seeing groups like India growing quickly, Singapore, all these places outside the U.S., and being able to work additionally with the CFA Institute, doing collaborative events with them. So it's been a nice journey, and it's really just having a passion for something and creating opportunities for others.
Now, you're a unique CMT charter holder in that you've used it, and a professional occupation is both a trader and a researcher. Tell us a little bit about the applicability of using technical analysis in different venues like that.
Sure. Well, the main thing, I think, as a trader or portfolio manager, whenever you're managing money, it's all about your profit and loss. It's all about managing risk and opportunity. And so sometimes as an analyst, you can have the flexibility of being wrong and things like that, but you may not have to deal with all the fallout from clients and stuff. So, but that's definitely influenced the way that I look at managing it, and that's influenced my research as well. And that's kind of why I'm driven to, early on I was more subjective. The older I've gotten, the bigger the things you have to deal with, then you want to lean more on your probabilities and statistics, because the really good opportunities are usually the ones that look the worst, or they're the hardest ones to take. So just that interplay is played off of each other, and that's from the different experiences of trading and research.
Who's the ideal client of your firm?
Ideal client.
Or let me ask, would the software be interesting to, say, the day trader, individual investor versus a large firm that manages money?
Okay. Fair question. I think the nice thing is what we do with volatility adapts to whatever security or time frame. So it's more. It can be a. Once you understand some basic tenets, like what is support resistance, how would I use it, how would I use momentum. So once a client has that basic education, they're not inundated with having to change parameters. Our stuff does it for you. So then it just becomes finding the opportunities and exploiting that. And so really, because it adapts to any time frame or security, as long as it's liquidly traded and not, not manipulated by a government or something like that, then there are opportunities, and it can find the inefficiencies. So whether they're a day trader, whether they're a market maker, we have an algorithmic solution for that as well, or whether they're a longer term, say, Fidelity fund manager, looking at longer time horizons, it adapts to every time frame.
So you're obviously a fan of attending MTA symposiums.
Oh, yeah.
What's some of your favorite aspects of this year's meeting?
Well, the thing I always look for is camaraderie and the depth of conversations you can have with other technicians and people that are practicing. Even with clients that are savvy or friends in the financial industry, you can catch yourself having to kind of bring up the speed or talk about observations and different things. But I was just talking to someone today that I met for the first time, and we went from, is the AAII index still valid because of the way the polling is? And then we jumped over to a fundamental index, and then we talked about the treasuries, and so we were all over the place. But having that breadth of knowledge that the CMT background gives you, the MTA offers, you just have a wide range of things to talk about, and it's amazing. I mean, another thing is just learning what different people do. So many different styles. I mean, there's just not enough time to investigate everything that's out there. And every time I go to these things, I come away with 3 or 4 nuggets that I just want to run back to and test and see if I can put my own twist on it.
And finally, what advice would you have for a young person starting out in technical analysis and thinking about getting the CMT designation?
Advice getting started out. Well, I think obviously they're doing the right thing. The earlier the better. This society is very close-knit. People are very open. So I would say don't be intimidated to reach out to people. I remember the first symposium, it was a winter retreat actually back then, but I looked around and it's like, oh, Ralph Acampora, oh, look at that guy. And so, but actually those have become great relationships and some mentors, and so I think if I had that early on, I came into the MTA when I was in my 30s. So if I would have come in out of college or even still been in college and had a mentor and helped me along the learning curve and just learn some of the things instead of learning via the School of Hard Knocks. So that's my biggest thing, is just reach out and establish that support group and friendship group.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Carson.
Thank you.